Thank you for joining. This is a networking lab demonstration. Welcome back to the AWS Private Cloud Demo Series. In previous videos, I created the outer shell of our private network called the VPC and added an internet gateway to the edge of the private network. Now it's time to take the next step and break that network into smaller, more manageable pieces. That's where subnetting comes in. What is subnetting? Subnetting is the process of dividing your VPC's IP address range into smaller blocks called subnets. Each subnet represents a segment of your network. You can think of it like organizing rooms inside a building that you've already constructed. What are the benefits of using subnets? Subnets give you several important benefits. First, they improve security. You can isolate resources by putting them in different subnets, like separating public-facing servers from internal databases. Second, they provide better traffic control. You can control routing between subnets and apply different firewall rules. Finally, they offer scalability and organization. Subnets help keep your network structured and efficient, especially as it grows. Subnets are typically classified as public or private. I will create both as part of this demo video. What are public subnets? In AWS, a public subnet can connect to the internet through an internet gateway. The end devices residing in this subnet possess public IP addresses. They need only to be directed to the internet gateway to gain internet access. If you recall, I added the internet gateway in my previous demo. What are private subnets? A private subnet is isolated from the internet, but can still connect to AWS services using things like NAT gateways or VPC endpoints. I won't be covering NAT gateways and endpoints in this video. Instead, I will demonstrate them both in two separate videos. Before heading over to the AWS dashboard, let's go over my network configuration. When setting up my VPC, I placed the private network on 12.0.0.0 with a CIDR of 16. This gave me a block size of over 65,000 addresses. I want to break the VPC block down into smaller, more manageable blocks. I'll create two subnets. One will be 12.0.1.0 with a CIDR of 24, and the other 12.0.2.0 with a CIDR of 24. Notice that both of these subnets fall within the VPC address range. Also note that the blocks are now a smaller size of 256 addresses. I'll make the first subnet, subnet A, public, and the second subnet, subnet B, private. Okay, let's head over to AWS. Remaining in the VPC section of the AWS services, I'll navigate to subnets. I'll click Create Subnets. I first need to identify the VPC in which the subnets will apply. I'll select the VPC that I previously created for this demo. I'll name the subnet. This one will be Public Subnet. I'll select a zone for the subnet. The range of the associated VPC will already be populated. I will then specify the address range for the subnet. You'll notice later, but I didn't specify the mask for the subnet's address range. That will be a problem. I'll have to double back and fix it. I'll add a second subnet and name it Private Subnet. I'll place it in the same zone as the public subnet. It will already be associated with the VPC I selected. I'll supply the subnet's address, but leave out the mask. Again, you'll see that I will have to fix that. I'll click Create. Okay, now you see the error message. I have to go back and add the mask for both the public and private subnets. Now that the mask is added for both subnets, I'll click Create again and it should be fine. Yes, great. Both subnets have been created. I want to be clear. Nothing magical has happened in terms of internet access. Both subnets are currently inside of a VPC, and that VPC has on its edge an internet gateway. Naming the subnets public and private has not altered anything. Once I get to the point of creating EC2 instances, everything will change. Instances with public IP addresses will be assigned to the subnet that is labeled public. The instances without a public IP address will be assigned to the subnet labeled private. The naming of the subnets as public and private is for sake of organization and clarity in infrastructure. Well, that's it. Join me in the next video as I continue to build out an AWS private network. Goodbye for now.